Hey folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to work on a 2-strand button bracelet using my FOC and some spacers from my stash. Let's turn down and we'll get started. I have this fluorite beading wire. I think that'll go well with these beads. These are all from my Thunderhorse Descendant Found Objects Challenge, except for the button and the spacers. Well, except for these flower spacers. These are really pretty. These are from the... So what we're going to do is we're going to... One strand is going to have this with some spacers in between. The other one will have the little flowers with beads and spacers in between those. And then we'll start with our button and we'll go down to a ring to start to make our... But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. Normally I tend to bead right on the wire, but because I am going to be doing a 2-strand, what we're going to do is we're going to go through our button and then we're going to crimp it to bring it down over here, and then we're going to start stringing from there. So I am going to need to get some small seed beads. I have some little Tohos, I believe, that are there we go. Actually, they're Mayukis. So we're not going to really see these too much. They're mainly going to be to go underneath this and pull the wire slightly to either side so that the beads can fit nicely in here. So let's pull this button back off. We're going to decide how long we want this to be. Now, because of the ring, we aren't going to need it to be 7 inch. We aren't going to have be 7 inches, but we are probably going to want 8 or 9 just to make sure we have enough. So let's see how this is 8.5 right here. So yeah, we'll just cut it right here. Now this is probably going to be more than I need. I'd rather have too much than not and have to throw some away than have to not have enough. So now, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to feed our button through, and we're just going to split this in half, bring it up, and we're going to want to crimp it right here. So I need to get some crimp beads out. And I had a little bottle of them, of gold ones here. Where'd it go? There we go. Not many left in here, but I have some more. We'll end up needing 4, so I might as well leave them out. So put our crimp tube on here. Bring her down to the bottom, and then we will get our magical pliers, our crimping pliers, and get them out. Go right into right in the center of the divot and swoosh, turn, swoosh. So there we go. So now we have our 2 rows here. Now I'm just going to work on one right away because otherwise your beads are just going to fall off, which of course I could put a bead stopper on, but I'm not going to right now. So I'm going to get a few of these out because we want these to go so they'll go under the button. See how there's a little line right there? Not a lot, so we don't need too many, maybe 2. So it's going to go down right there, and then it's just going to peek out from the side here. So I'm going to start by putting some spacers on because we're going to do this row first because I know exactly what I want to do over there. So we're going to have these spacers close in with another spacer close to our pave bead, and I'm not sure which one I want to start with it by the pave bead, but I'm going to put this little guy on here. Then maybe we'll go this one, and here we have the bead stack right here. Then if I want to go on with this one, we'll go right here. We will see if I decide that we want to I think I'm liking those like that, but I'm not sure if when we put this one on, if that one is going to be, I think it works. So then it'll be the basket weave spacer thing, and then the big one, our pave, the big rope, the basket weave. Now I'm not sure what this stone is. I think it might be serpentine. It looks sort of like serpentine to me. Oop, come here, you. And this may be as far as of a length as we need for this, so we'll put this little guy back on here on this end. And this would be our first row. Now this would make a nice simple bracelet all on its own if you wanted to do that. I'm going to put a bead stopper on this side, and we'll see about where it runs around to. Now I think we're going to need quite a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this all back off, and we're going to start by putting a few of these guys on. So but I do like this. It is going to be what I want to use for our strand, but because this is a button bracelet, there actually will be a ring also on here, but it still won't be big enough because this isn't even halfway around. It's about halfway around my wrist. So we're going to pull this stuff off from right here. We'll leave that guy on. And we're going to put one of these now. If I had more pearls, I would consider putting a pearl in it right here, and maybe I should. Maybe we'll put, we can't put many because I want those to save for the other side, but I'm gonna There we go. So then, of course, there'll be that on the other side as well. So we're going to go string this back up here. Now, if I wanted, I could take and put another one of these beads here on the other side to put this on. Let's see if I like that better than the other. And that will obviously also add some more length. That's pretty good. Now, to match up to the other side here, we're going to put on one of these, and then one of these spacers, and one of the little pearls. Come on, little pearl. It's obviously got stuff in its little hole. And then the last one of these, making it be quite a bit longer. And let's see how we did. I think we'll be fine because we do have to put the ring in still, as well as our loop of leather. So I think we're good on this side. So we'll put a bead stopper down on this side, and then we're going to start this other side. So we'll put a couple of seed beads. And the rest of these little bits are extra. Then one of these little guys here. So it's going to start the same, but then we're going to switch to these flowers here and then put at least two of these and one of these in the middle between the flowers for our second strand here. So we will be now, let's see how this looks with, that's fine. I think we'll put another one of these guys on here on the other side. Oops, looks like I need to get a few more of that style of spacer. Oh, no, there's one. Now, by all rights, we should be done here and going down because we are not going to be able to get another flower section on here because we want them to be about the same length. And if we put another flower section on, this would be here. We couldn't put the flower on. See, we'd be coming down and crashing down here. So I'm thinking we want to go up to the middle here, where this one is, because this is where we're going to want to end at with this little ending right here. So we need to come up here and make more across here. And either A, take something out so we can put this last flower in, or I know what I'll do. Let's take this right here. Take this out here. Since this is now the middle, we have this in the middle here. And we'll put, now we'll go back to our pattern here. Okay. We're not going to be quite where I want to be because it needs to be over here on the other side of this. So this is good. Oh, we still have to put our flower on, so actually maybe we're fine. I need a few more of these because we're out. And then we'll put the flower, and then we're going to go to here. We'll end up seeing where we're at here. We may be just perfect. So we need one of these guys. Bing. Then one of these. Another one of these. The pearl. And another one of these. Now let's see how different we are as far as our strands are concerned. A little bit, not a whole bunch. And that might be fine because we do want one to pull out from the other one a little bit so they're not bumping into each other. So I think we're good right where we're at. I like it. So I'm going to get another bead stopper and put on right here for right now. And like I say, they're not quite the same length. This one is a little bit shorter by like one bead worth. But like I say, I want these to bump out just a little bit from each other so they're not snug up. So otherwise everything's bumping together here. So I think I like this just like that. I think it's perfect. So now we need to get a ring out to put these on, and then we'll need to get a little piece of leather. Got my ring box, and I'm thinking this is a nice size, but it's awful thin. So I'm thinking we're going to go with this ring. It's a very nice ring. I think it works. So we're going to crimp onto this ring, and then we're going to get a piece of leather to do the other side. And I have some nice suede leather here relatively close by. But let's crimp these onto this ring. So we'll get one crimp tube, slide it down, slide our ring over the top, and then we'll go through our crimp. Now, the likelihood of this going through the pearl twice is slim to nil. So I'm not even going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to pull it down here. Well, hopefully I am. There we go. So here's our first one. And we're going to get this pushed down and crimped on here pretty good. Now I want it to have a little movement, so I'm not going to pull it too horribly tight. I'm going to get my crimp pliers here and get that in the divot and squish. And then we will turn it and squish again and again till it's good and squished. Then we'll trim this excess wire off here. Come on, didn't quite get it all the way. There we go. So here's the first one all on. Now we're going to crimp our second one on. And again, we've got that pearl down here, so we're going to have to, we only can go on just a little bit there. Looks like I have an extra crimp out here, but I can put that away. So we want to go onto our ring again, going to the other side here, and pull it up here, through the crimp, and then through the spacer bead here. Then we're going to pull it up, push this way, push it down, pull her up. There we go. So that looks about the same. So we'll get our crimping pliers out in that divot. Squish. And of course we'll turn and squish it 2 or 3 more times till we get that nice little ball. There we go. There's our 2 rows. Now we'll cut this extra bit off of this one. Just get straight up to the very edge and just crimp it off. So there we go. There is our bracelet. Before we go and put with the 2 strands in place, we need to now get our leather to put on here. It will go around like here. And come over here. Come on, you. So it's going to, it could have been just a little bit closer, but it's not that bad. So we're going to find our leather, and then we'll put this baby, finish putting this baby together. Put up my beads the rest of my beads while I was looking for my suede lace. This is what I use for for the loop. And I do have different colors, but I think this one works best. So you want at least 6 to 8 inches of this because you have to tie a couple of knots. So I'm going to cut 8 inches just to be on the safe side. And I like to cut it at a slight angle. So you can use round leather for this too if you would prefer, but I have just always had a thing for the suede. I think it looks much more delicate and refined than the regular, so it's up to you. Now, I guess it doesn't matter which way I go through because I can just flip it over. They look exactly the same. So go through here, do a lark's head knot. Tighten her up. And then we have to tie a knot on the other side for our bracelet, the button to go in. Now see, I don't have it quite as long as I would have liked to have had it. I should have had it put another bead or two in to get that final length. So we got to have it big enough. You can do, to fix that problem, you can do one of two things. You can put a bead here, or you can just, or another knot if you prefer, or you can just leave it this length. What you do need to do is now, well, let's see if I want to put a bead there. I'd need a large hole bead to go in there, which we don't have in this stuff that I have here. These are all relatively small holes, even though this this bead has relatively good sized hole. It's not big enough to have this, both these pieces of leather go through. So if I'm going to put a large hole bead here, I have to find a large hole bead that will work with these beads so that it doesn't go off sizing too much. So I do have some large hole beads. I just have to find where I stuffed them at, of course. And they are from Dakota Stones. So they are stones. And I could possibly find one that will match up all right. Been trying to find a nice large hole bead that I thought would go well on here, and I've got this mookite that will match the clays in here and some of these yellows, so we're going to try and see if we can get it over both our strands of leather here. It's probably going to be a little tough because even though this is a large hole bead, this is 2 pieces of leather. Rory is saying hi to everyone. Let's see if I can get these onto here. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to take up some of the extra space in our leather, if we can get it on, that is. If we can't, then, well, it's not going to work, but we're going to try. Now, this leather is really soft. It's not a hard leather, so it may not work. We're going to just keep trying, though. Here we go. Here it's coming through here. Where's my tweezer? If I can get my tweezer on it, I can probably grab it and pull it up. If I can find my tweezer, it seems to have taken a powder. Oh, there it is. It's under my wire. Okay. So now we'll see if we can get this guy out. Pull this guy forward some more here. There he goes. Now, the question is, can we get the second one in as well, which is easier said than done because the first one is now taking up most of the space. So what we want to do is I'm going to take my awl, which is bent at this end, and I also had some fossil coral but decided not to use it. Though if this doesn't go through, the fossil coral might work better, who knows. So what I'm going to do here is I want to get this started here into our hole. Come on, go in. Okay. All is coming through, but I do not see the leather with it, but we'll see. It's right there. There we go. Come on, baby, all the way. There we go. Oh, don't pull it out yet. Get hold of this with the tweezer. The awl is still in there. I can feel it, but we want to get hold of the leather if we can. See, there's the awl. Up here more. Get hold of the leather. Okay, let's see if we can get this to come. There it is. So now we gotta pull you through, and it's gonna sit right here against the where we have our knot here, and that way when you put the button through, if you want to tighten it up, you can push this down to it. It also takes up a little bit of that extra space we have over here on this side. So now what we want to do is we want to knot our leather in a way that our button can go through, but not real loose. So come on, you. But now that I have the bead on here, it can be looser than it would normally be. So, and I'll show you why as soon as I get this to go through here. Come on, give me a knot. And this is why I say always cut 8 inches, because you got to have that amount for doing your little tie here. Okay, so you come here. Okay. Now obviously it's got too tight because this button's not going to go into that. But now it might go into here. The way I have it, it will quite well. And it's actually even pretty loose probably. And that's what this bead is for. If you want it tightened up, you can move this up here and it will tighten up your knotted area, and that will keep it from being able to come back out. Now, I suspect I can have a lot less room here. Let's put it on the bracelet sizer and see exactly how much we have with the knot right where it's at. If it's over 7 inches, then I will pull it back and we will. Now what have you done here? You twisted up as you went through, didn't you? Let's see here. Go this way, up and around and through. There we go. So now we'll put this on here, and it looks like it's going to be right at 7, so it's fine just where it's at. Well, maybe not. Come here, you. It's a little bit longer than 7. It could go a little bit shorter. It doesn't need to. It's pretty good right where it's at. Ordinarily, I'd say to make this a little bit tighter because the button slipped through really easily. And I just tightened it up quite a bit, I think. Not as much as I thought. But because I do have this bead on here, it will work as a tightener, so to speak. So if your bracelet is too loose and you need to you need it tightened up as far as our piece here is concerned, and this is backwards because the lark's head's going the other direction. There we go. Then this bead, this large hole bead on the leather will keep it from doing that. So we'll go over here, pull it around. It goes onto our leather. And we have our bracelet all done. Like I said, if this looseness bothers you, you can always push this bead up and tighten it up. Or you can push it back. So, again, it is probably about exactly 7 inches, so it's about perfect. Now, this other row is a little bit longer, and I did that on purpose so it wouldn't just bunch right up to it, so that it would push away a little bit when it was when it's on. So I will. So as we put it on like so, and bring it around, and we're to do it. See, this one is a little bit further away, and that's good. We don't want it right beside it. So that's what it looks like when it's on, and there she is, all finished. Isn't that special? So, except for the spacers and our button, of course, and our leather and our ring, all the beads themselves came from our Thunderhorse Descendant Found Objects Challenge bag. And if you have never had a Found Objects Challenge bag or don't know what they are, Thunderhorse Descendant puts these bags together. I think right now they cost $9.30. And they have a variety of things in them. This is our second bracelet we've made with mine. The first one was our stretch bracelet. There we go. And then we still have these beads left, as well as, where'd my bag go? Is this it? Nope. There we go. As well as leftover beads from, they come in a package like so in this bag, so you can't see what they look like when you first open it up. So what I've got left here is the remaining beads from this one, the remaining beads from this one, and then a little heart pendant, and 2 packages of focal beads. So all of these, including everything we made here and here, other than spacers, were from my Found Objects Challenge bag. Now, as I say, the Found Objects Challenge bag is not the same. Everybody gets something different. From what I understand, what she does is she takes and makes various tubs with things in it, and then they take like 1 or 2 things from each tub to put into the Found Objects Challenge bag. And everything is can be different. Sometimes you'll get some of the same things as other people will, but generally not. They're more usually different because she gets these from buyouts and all kinds of other things like that. People are getting rid of some of their stash, so she buys a whole bunch of it. Estate sale kind of things, all this kind of stuff. So this pretty bracelet is part of my Found Objects Challenge beads, and I think it turned out quite lovely. Like I say, the only things that I added are the spacer beads, the button, the ring, and the leather. Well, and of course the beading wire. So there we go, all finished. So there we go. There is our bracelet made with our Found Objects Challenge beads. Now, right now it's feeling a little stiff. I may have tightened it up a little bit much, but that's all right. But here we go. Here it is. We'll put it on our bracelet sizer again. As you can see, the upper strand is 7, about 7, and the lower strand is a little bit longer, and that's what we wanted it to do. And here is our button, which can be tightened up if we want it to be. Well, maybe not, but the thing is not on the tighten it side. So there it is. There's our bracelet. Isn't that pretty? So if you want to have a Found Objects Challenge bag, if you want to try one of these, you can get one at www.thunderhorsedescendant.biz. Like I say, they're $9.30. And you have no clue what you're going to get, and you do not get the same as everybody else. It's one of those, well, it's sort of it's almost like she gets stuff from D-stashes and she just makes various bags from them. So like I say, sometimes you might get the same stuff, not exactly the same. You might get, say, like I noticed somebody else had some of these little flower beads in their so I wouldn't have minded having a few more, but that's all right. I didn't really need them. So you might get some of the same items that other people get. You may get nothing at all like other people get. Like I said, I saw some other folks with the flower beads, the metal flower beads, but I didn't see anybody else with any of my other beads. So, like I said, $9.30. I think it's pretty good purchase. I usually get one every month. She puts them out at the beginning of every month, and they're just fun to do. So if it's something you might be interested in, by all means go over there and get some stuff and get a bag and try it out. Now I think they're done for this month. She puts them out and then leaves them up for about 2 weeks at the beginning of the year, and then takes them down so that everybody has a chance to get one and gets things made from them prior to when she ends it for the month. And when she ends it for the month, everybody that made something, and well, she likes you to make 1 or 2 things. She wants at least 2 pictures, a beginning picture and what you made. And then you get put in a random drawing, and the person who wins the random drawing every month, which is actually a ducky race, it's really fun, you get a beading book of some type, the next month's Found Objects Challenge bag, as well as about $50 worth of beads. So if you're a beader, it's a great fun little thing to do. Unless, of course, you're one of those folks that feels that you really need to know what you're getting, because you won't know. So this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we have been using a Thunderhorse Descendant Found Objects Challenge bag to make this really beautiful bracelet. Bye-bye.